Hello and welcome to the Bears and Lions podcast. This is the podcast where we challenge our present by viewing our past. I'm a firm believer that our greatest future lies within the correct view of our past, because when you actually look at it, you're going to see there's probably some things that didn't work out the way that you wanted them to, but there's also some things that have actually helped you become the exact person that you are today, and that should give you confidence to step into your future. Now, today's episode, I was going to talk about growth and things like that, but a couple things have gone on over the last few days, and I've kind of switched that up. So today we're going to be talking about love and respect. I really enjoyed this conversation. I hope that it inspires and encourages you. I'll see you guys on the other side. You know, I had a whole conversation set up and ready to go for you, all about growth, and I was really excited about it. But over the last few days, a couple conversations have happened. And a couple conversations have kind of derailed my thought to where I'm going to talk about today, love and respect. Because there's a level of it that I really hope to drive home, whether we're talking about friendships, so platonic friendships, or just friendships in general, or even romantic relationships. All of those are built on love and respect. I think sometimes we will split them into two of, I have my group of friends and then I have my girlfriend or my boyfriend or my significant other or my spouse. And yes, those friendships and the relationship is deeper because you hopefully are spending more time with them, but they're still built on the same exact thing, and that's love and respect. So what triggered all of this was a tweet from one of my friends named Ange, and I'm just going to read you a part of the tweet because it kind of triggered this mentality and something that I've seen on social media a lot, actually. So the part of the tweet that I really like is the question. And she says, I think quality friendships are not 50-50. Or, in quotations, if I do this for you, you should also do this for me. And I replied a couple replies on this because it really kind of triggered some thoughts, because I've seen this growing mentality on social media that whether it's a friendship or a relationship, those are now being built on not what can I give you, but what can I get from you? And I don't like that, right? What can I get? Rather, what can I give? And anyone whatsoever that thinks a relationship or a friendship is 50-50, I do not believe that they are a friend. I believe that they're a consumer. And they will find ways of consuming everybody around them. I get that from them, so I need to be around them. And then they'll consume it all until they get to a point where they've consumed everyone around them and find themselves alone. And then they ask, why am I so alone? It's because you used up everything from everyone around you. And I've heard this a lot lately. I've heard this mentality of stop putting time into people who aren't putting time into you. It sounds good. And although it sounds good, I think it's arrogance masked in virtue. I'll say it a different way and see if it sounds a little clearer. In order for me to put time into you, you must put time into me. Right? Sounds familiar, right? It's because it's a transaction. The only way that I'll put time into you is if you put time into me first. It's turning into an exchange of, if I do this for you, then I'm expecting you to do this for me. But that's not real. That's not love, and that's not respect, because love and respect is built on consistent action of who you are and who I am, not what I get from you or what you get from me. See, love and respect is built from the core of consistent action, that I've built a trustworthy where I am trustworthy because I've done the things over and over and over, right? That love and respect comes from the fact that I've replied to the text, or I've reached out when I've needed to, or I've been there when I've needed to, or flip it to somebody else. They're the friends that it's 2 a.m. and you message them and they reply and say, I'm here for you. Now, it doesn't always happen. And there are a few people in my life who have done that and been there for me in my deepest, darkest times. But it hasn't been like a one-off. They've done it over and over and over in different ways. But they're all the small ways, right? I think a lot of people nowadays, they don't know how to experience that true love and respect because it's not flashy. It's not viral. It's not something that's pretty because it's not something that is grandiose or can be shared. Real love and respect is all built on the small things that happen behind the scenes. It's the check-ins. It's the people that go above and beyond. It's the people who, are willing to be the DD or get you that birthday gift or send you that birthday card or remind you of all the cool things that you've done when you've needed it. You've needed people to remind you that, yes, you've got it. They're the people who check in with you when you are about to have a job interview. They're the people who check in with you or wish you happy birthday or wish you a happy Thanksgiving or whatever. It's the people that consistently are going above and beyond and being there, and they've built that trustworthiness where it's, there's a few people specifically in my life right now. If I really needed something, like really needed a friend, I would call Drew or I'd call Ben. Those are two friends of mine that I 100% believe in would make time to either call me back when they can, because they're busy, they have families and stuff like that. But I'd call Drew or I'd call Ben. I'd probably call Devin as well. But those are the people in my life who have time and time again poured time into me when not when I've needed it, not when I've asked. It's just because that's who they are. They've shown me this is who I am, and I'm going to do it regardless of whether you do anything for me. We've gone months, years without talking, and they'll still shoot me a message or a text, and it's as if we've never, ever missed a beat. I think that that's what makes love and respect so difficult to see, is because we live in this social media environment where you can either Instacart or Uber Eats what you want to consume emotionally or physically. You can Netflix or watch on the internet anything that you need to satiate an emotional need. You can communicate with people from halfway across the world in a Discord call, and that's great that you can have that communication, but sometimes that just fills the void of loneliness that you feel. And it's not an actual friendship or a relationship that's built on love and respect. It's built on you are feeding me and I am feeding you. And at the end of the day, it's not because we respect or love each other. It's because we're consuming each other. I thought about it this way. Do you remember vending machines, right? You put $1 in. Nowadays, it's like you put $3 in. But you put $1 in, you hit C5, and out comes a candy bar. And I think a lot of people approach friendships and relationships like that these days. They say, I put my dollar in you. I put time into you. I put effort into you. Now give me my candy. That's not how a relationship works. It's not how a friendship works. It's not about what you get out of somebody. It's what you give. And I have people in my life who can recognize my energy bar, right? My battery. And they may say something like, hey, how's your Bible reading? How's your gym? How's your diet? How's your exercise going? Are you getting sleep? Little things like that. They're not recharging me. I don't rely on them to recharge me, but sometimes they'll remind me, hey, you're getting low on fuel. You should stop at the gas station and refuel, right? You should get some rest. I'm proud of you for your drive, but you should probably go to the gym and get some of those nerves or get some of that anxiety or get some of that stress worked out. You're doing great, but I can tell your battery's starting to get a little low. You should recharge. And it helps me regulate, oh, I know who I am. I know what's inside of me, and I need to recharge my battery a little bit. Because everybody wants to consume. And I don't want to rely on anybody else to have to fill me in order for me to be able to give. That love and respect has to come from a place inside of my heart and soul where I know my boundaries. I know I only have so much to give, but I know that I am taking ownership of the fact that I can recharge this battery through diet, exercise, focusing on the things that I need to focus on. So if I'm getting a little short with somebody, hey, you know what? Maybe I need a caffeine. Maybe I need an energy drink. Maybe I'm lacking the energy today and I need to pipe myself up. Maybe I need some fruit. Maybe I need to eat, right? But I can do that. Now people can tell me about, hey, you're getting a little testy. Oh, thank you so much. I'm sorry about that. I am not living up to my potential. Let me get some rest. We'll reconvene. I'll provide you with what I can give, right? But so many people want things in return. Hey, why didn't you fill me up? Why didn't you fill my tank? I'm completely empty. I need you to carry me the rest of the way. That's not always how it works. Now, of course, friendships are going to go above and beyond, and relationships are going to go even above and beyond that. But it's out of service. It's not out of, hey, if you don't do this, I will no longer do this. It's just not how it works. Real quick, I just want to say thank you for listening to the podcast. A lot of you know I post the audio version on Spotify and iTunes. Some of you may not know that I post the video version of this podcast on YouTube. And in 2024, I'm really focused on building the community engagement as well as the brand of the Bears and Lions podcast. So if you would do me a favor and just really quick, go hit like and subscribe on that YouTube. Share this podcast with a friend. It'll just take you a few moments to share it with your social media, and it would mean the absolute world to me. Thank you so much for listening. Now let's get back to the conversation. If I've learned anything in life, it's that you cannot buy love and respect, right? You can buy someone's time. You can buy someone's attention, right? I've got this cool car. You can probably even buy affection of some sort, right? OnlyFans is a thing because people want to buy affection. But it doesn't really matter what your currency is, right? I've given you time, or I've paid you with gifts or kindness, acts of kindness. Real unadulterated love and respect is built on consistent action. And it's the evidence of that consistent action that builds the trustworthiness and the love and respect that carries through. I think it's so important for us to recognize that the love and respect that we are looking for is not something that we find. It's something that we become, and we begin to recognize the people who also have that inside of them. It's not, hey, I need you to do this because I need it in my life. It's, I am recognizing that you are somebody who just does this because there's evidence of it. Over the last 6 months that I've known you, you've consistently just been a great friend. Not because I've done anything or given you anything. It's just because that's who you are. There are people in your life that you're going to meet that are going to encourage you to be better. There's people who are going to call you to a new potential, and it's because they love and respect you, and they want you to do great things, not because they want anything from you, because they just want to see you succeed. Those are the people who are your good friends, and it's not 50-50. It's 100-100. They give 100% of themselves because they recognize that everything that they do, it's because of them. It's not because anything they get from you. I have so many people in my life that I've met who have been 100 friends. They've been the people who've shown me love and shown me respect, not because they want anything in return. It's just because that's who they are. And it's helped me and encouraged me in my relationships and my friendships to step up and say, I'm not going to be a 50-50 friend. It's not going to be based on whether or not you can give me something. It's not based on what I get from you. It's always going to be based on, this is who I am and this is what I have to offer. And I will give and give and give and give and give. And you know what? When I'm depleted, I may need to take a moment, back up for a second, focused on recharging my batteries and recharging in the way that I know how. And then I can come back and give and give and give some more. But what I've recognized is some people just don't want that. Some people will say, hey, let me get some of that. And they just consume you and consume you and consume you and consume you and consume you. And the thing is they're the ones that will end up finding themselves alone, because if you know how to recharge your battery, eventually they're just going to be like, oh, this is stale. If you eat the same thing over and over and over every single day, eventually you'll get tired of it. And I've recognized that with some of the people in my life where I've realized, you know what? There's nothing new I can offer them. And they don't really want it anymore. So I don't have to offer it as much anymore because they're not asking for it. But to carry this back through on the thought of quality friendships are not 50-50. It's not, if I do this for you, you should do this for me. It's based on love and respect. And I really hope that out of this conversation, you'll be able to walk away with a thought process and a reality of the fact that there is so much that we are capable of giving that's going to build an encouragement and build a relationship and a friendship that is far more deeper than you could ever imagine, or that surface level of, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. That's going to do it for this conversation. I know it was a little tougher, but I appreciate you guys sticking in there, and I really hope that you'll be encouraged to give 100 and make sure that you are recognizing the people who are consuming, so that you can say, you know what? I can't offer this to you as much as I want to because you're consuming me in a way that it's not allowing me to replenish myself, right? I need to step back and recharge my batteries. I'm more than happy to give, but I'm not going to just let you drain my battery and drain my battery and drain my battery. I really hope that you'll recognize that, you know what? I can give far more than I even know. It's not about what you get, it's what you give. So love and respect. Think about it. Spend some time this week. Challenge some friends. And I hope that you'll be encouraged. For those of you who are listening on Spotify or iTunes, thank you so much. Hit that follow button. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Hit that like and subscribe button. For everybody that wants to connect with me further, please do so. Reach out to me on socials at Kyle Vaught on X or TikTok, and on Threads and Instagram. I'm trying to be a little bit more active. That's going to be Kyle_Vaught. I love you guys so much. Please, please, please have a wonderful weekend. Remember to give grace, show love, and as always, stay stellar. Peace.